Welcome to your daily focus for June the 16th, 2020. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. Thank you for the likes, the shares. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for ringing the bell, which you will find next to the subscribe button. Thank you for all that you do for me each and every day. I send you back light and love. Absolutely. So we have the 16 today. Well, we don't like starting out with the 16 energy because that's the tower energy. That is the dismantling of something in your life. The dismantling of something in your life that you have failed to let go on your own. Dylan's being very forceful about this thought. And so in order to get you where you need to be for that solar eclipse, for that new moon energy to appear on Sunday and you're off to the races, it's taking something away from you in order for you to be able to shift over to the path you need to be on. It could be something holding you back. It could be a thought. It could be an environment. It could be a person or a group of people. Absolutely. And 1 + 6 is a 7, so it's really about standing in our truth. And trust me, sometimes with the Tower card, it takes away things, and we're usually not very receptive to what is being taken away from us, okay? Sometimes we don't even see it coming. And it may be years before you look back upon this day or this weekend or this week or this month, and you go, wow, if that didn't happen in my life, I would never have been here today doing what I love, doing what makes me feel successful and worthy and deserving and full of love and in balance. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 17, and that is the star energy. That is making the impossible possible. So it's being able to see a way forward from something being some kind of closure in your life, healing in your life, completion in your life, moving past something, moving away from something. And all of a sudden, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see the way forward. We get that clarity. We get that understanding that we are so desperately longing to hear, see, touch, taste, smell. And if you go 1 + 7, it's an 8. So remember, with the 8 energy, it always requires you to have some kind of physical activity behind what you are doing. Something, some motion, some activity, some energy put towards a goal, a dream, a desire, a want. It's about walking with integrity. It's about recognizing your own strength and courage and what you are really, truly capable of going forward. And maybe that's where we can start to understand where we can make the impossible possible, because it's us doing it. It's not anybody else. It's us with our unique toolbox of talents, abilities, personality. Sun is in Gemini. I think by the time most of us wake up, the moon will be into Taurus. So we could be, that's more of your five senses. When the moon is in Taurus, it's what you taste and what you see and what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, and it brings in harmony. It brings in a feeling of luxury or comfort or stability or security. It's a day to get outside and walk around. Take your shoes off if you can. Touch the ground with your feet. Dip your toes in some water of a stream, of a pond, of an ocean, of a river, of a pool. Take a bubble bath. And we're more geared to looking at our finances and growing our finances and putting a value on things when it's a Taurus moon. So we may very well see something that we have always treasured and kind of like, that really just doesn't work for me anymore. It doesn't hold the same meaning or value or memory that I once had, or you've moved past it in some way. Time to pack it up and give it to charity, to somebody who could use it, to who would value it. Let's see what the cards have to say. The Hermit. The Hermit shows up, the 9 energy. We'll be experiencing that tomorrow a lot. So this is asking you to be in the here and now. The Hermit, I see, somebody going off into a cave or off into the desert and contemplating life and life's choices. So maybe that is what we are asked to do today, or we feel like doing today. We do have the Taurus moon. It will slow us down. It will put us down to first gear. Unless you're going, then maybe second gear, but maybe you're in neutral. To be in the here and now, to understand where you are, what you have to work with, what's available to you, where you want to go, how do you plan on getting there. And since the beginning of January, I've been saying strategy, 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 plan, plan, plan. The more you have a strategy, the more you have a plan, the more the success will come rolling in at you like a gigantic wave ready to knock you over, but it knocks you into exactly where you want to be. The 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is all about walking away from things that we once loved or we still love. The things that it could be a crutch. It could be something that we feel we need in our life, but we don't. It could be, many times I say it's like a child that has grown to the point now where it's time to move out of the house, whether they're going to school or they're getting their first apartment with a few friends, getting married, whatever reason it is they are leaving the nest. Okay, so if you're that young adult, there is fear, because you're going into the unknown, and all of a sudden you're going to have to pay for your own groceries and do your own laundry, and there's a lot. Wow. And get to where you need to go. There's no more, Mom, can you drive me here? Dad, can you drop me off there? So there's this fear, but there's this anticipation of what you're going to step into. So yeah, there's this fear, but there's also this anticipation into what is to come. What are you stepping into? What are you growing into? What do you want to experience? What is the journey? What is the adventure? What is the opportunity? It could be a new relationship, a new environment. It could just be a whole new you. You reinvent yourself. And the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords can weigh us down. We start worrying about all those little things that never actually materialize. We allow our imaginations to take off in full gear and take us to the worst image of what could possibly happen in our life. So maybe, and I heard this, what was it? The Millionaire book, I think it was. Anyways, it was like, okay, so what's the worst that can happen? Well, I become homeless. I live on the street. So what's the worst that can happen? Well, I'd be hungry and I'd be bullied and what's the worst that could happen? Well, I could die and nobody would remember me. And do you think any of that's going to really happen to you? Unless you will it into being. And yes, there are people out on the street that had no idea. It just came out of nowhere. And we should be helping those people, by the way, okay? We should helping them get a fresh start, the care and attention they need. But what's the worst that can happen? So start thinking about what the best thing is that could happen. You could come clean and tell the truth and then get it, and just stop carrying around that weight tied to your ankle, dragging you down because you know you were dishonest or you did something wrong. Or maybe it's time to just confront that person and say, I know this, so where do we go from here? Maybe it's time to finally, yes, clean out that room, that attic, that basement, and get rid of the clutter because, the weight of that energy. Give it to someone who needs it. Simplify. So often we do, or we say something and we go home and we're like, oh, I can't believe I did that. Right? And there's that shame, right? That automatically the brain goes into hiding, your body goes into hiding because it's like, oh, I can't believe I did that. And you lower your energy so much. It's about standing in the victory pose, arms straight out in a V, right? Chest pumped out. Yes, I did that. Brings in two completely different attitudes within your body and your mind to start working towards solving the problem in a productive, positive way. So watch this energy of it starting to pull you down, making you think of the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. No. It's your imagination, it's your mind, it's your thoughts. So start thinking about the great, the great, the great, the great, the beautiful, the happiness, the joy, the giggles, the laughters. So you sit there and you face plant yourself and you're like, oh, how could I have done that? Well, then, you know what? Tomorrow go into wherever it was that it happened and say, you know what? Yesterday I did this and it was I couldn't even believe I did that. So I hope you all forgive me, or I hope you see it my way. I hope I wasn't out, but that's how I feel maybe. Maybe it's standing in your truth. Maybe it's saying, I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but that's who I am. And the people who love you will love you still. The people who are on their own agendas, well, they're not on your agenda, so. Let's get our mantra of the day, shall we? So with the Hermit being the first card, we have this marvelous opportunity to start to understand where we can make the impossible possible in our life. Remember, we have that 17 energy, and that 17 energy will be around tomorrow as well, right? Because we'll be celebrating June the 17th. So no, by putting forward action and positive thought and standing in your integrity and bringing out your courage, your strength, that you actually see the way forward. You get the clarity, you get the understanding. You know how to make what seemingly was impossible to come true in your life possible to come true in your life. Watch the negative thoughts. Owl, follow your intuition. Absolutely follow your intuition. When was that big? Was that big yesterday? The day before? Follow your intuition. Where's Owl? Here. It's hiding in the tree. There we are. Intuition. What's your body telling you? What's your emotions telling you? That's really your intuition. And we've all had that moment where we said, we shouldn't have done that. I knew it. I knew it from the get-go. I should have said no. What was I thinking? How did I get sucked into that? Oh, now look at the mess I'm in. Oh, or what a waste of time that was. And I knew it was going to be a waste of time. Why did I even go? Why did I say I would go? Why did I say I would help? And you start doing these things to yourself. Listen to your body. It's okay to say no. It's absolutely okay to say no. Somebody says, geez, I need your help. And you say, oh, I can't. I'm sorry. And, you feel like, ugh, gosh, aren't I rotten, right? Not helping when they ask me for help. But it's better to go home and sit and think about it. And, does this help our relationship? Does this build our bridges? Does this bring in unity? Is this something I want to do? Is this something I want to be involved in? What else do I have to do? Where can I put my focus? Where do I need to put my attention? And if all those things come back to, I should have said yes, well, there's your intuition telling you to pick up the phone and say, hey, if you haven't found anybody, I was thinking I got my days mixed up. I can absolutely help. Now you become the super person in their life. You become the superhero. And they ask you where your cape is because nobody else said yes either. So it's okay to say no. And it's better saying no than it is saying yes right away and then phoning them back a day later after you thought about it and saying, yeah, I'm not doing that. because they stopped asking people, and now you are far from their superhero. So the owl shows up and says, follow your intuition. You hold within you qualities and traits of the owl. You may have fine-tuned your intuitive abilities, that sense of inner knowing. Listen to those dogs. And they ran outside for hours. I mean, they have acres. You may have become strong-willed, perceptive, wise. Learn from the silence of your own owl spirit, which offers lessons of stealth and poise in your everyday life. If you are about to take on a new business venture or let go of some parts of your life that are no longer relevant, it is important that you become more observant. You cannot fool the owl. He is aware of his surroundings at all times. With this message, you can allow your goals to prosperity and heed these qualities to live the life of your dreams. The mantra is, I am wise and intuitive. I follow my inner wisdom to prosperity. You get that hunch, you get that feeling, you get that sense of happiness, that feeling of balance. So listen to your body, listen to your emotion, but listen to your body. Are you relaxed when you're having that thought? Are you getting tense? Are you getting fearful? Are you getting full of anxiety? And why? You know, go that second layer. Why am I fearful? Why am I full of anxiety? Maybe because I don't think I'll be much help and I'll let them down. So show up and say, I don't really even think I'm going to be of much help, but I'm here to support you. So what do you want me to do? You know, set the bar low when you go to help them then. Move past that fear. Move past that anxiety. If you can. Because chances are, that's exactly what's holding you back. Let's go to our animals. Milo and Dylan, inside voices, boys. Oh, they're not even listening to me. Boys, inside voices. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Do I have to come out there? Milo, Dylan. You're being bad tonight. Yes. Are you being Dylan? Are you being a good boy for me? Look at that. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself, your dreams, your goals, your vision of your tomorrow. The flamingo. Stand up for yourself. Power, visionary, heart chakra, assertiveness, water, healing. Every time you don't allow your inner guide out, you don't follow your inner guidance. So once again, we're back to the intuition. Loss of power. You feel I'll still start over. How about that? Proof I don't add it. Every time you don't follow your inner guidance, you feel a loss of energy, a loss of power, and a sense of spiritual deadness. The color pink on the flamingo is symbolic of love and the heart chakra. Flamingo's legs are wiry but strong. Flamingo tells you that in matters of the heart, you are much stronger than you give yourself credit for. It's time for you to stand up for yourself with your head held high. You don't have to hurt anyone's feelings. However, you've hurt yourself or allowed others to hurt you long enough. Now is the time to allow yourself to heal by being assertive and speaking your needs and concerns. You can do it verbally, you can write it down, and know that you have the power as long as you name yourself master of that power. If you're going through something tough, reach out to your friends, family. Know that you have the ability to stand on your own two legs and you will survive after the dust has cleared. The energy of your life may be shaking. It's causing some people to act irrational, to hide, to scream, to cry. Some may be exiting your life. Then there are the ones who are entering your life, helping you with the future life game plan. So, and if you have people that really pull you down, and I thought of this during the flamingo card, so I'm going to say it because somebody needs to hear it. Maybe somebody who's just joined us, so welcome if you're new here. sometimes we have those people in our life that just create havoc or wear us down, or they're a negative energy, or they're kind of pulling us in a way that we don't want to go, but we feel we need to go for whatever reason we have. And so the easiest way to combat that is imagine in the morning this wall of mirrors that goes completely around you, facing outwards. You can think of yourself in a disco ball if you want, right? But have the mirrors facing outwards. And what that does is it repels evil. Evil cannot stand to look at itself. Therefore, when evil tries to approach, it immediately sees itself and goes back to whence it came. Whence it came. I don't know how long ago we used that in the English language. And love, like, attracts like. Love attracts love. So when love comes near you, it comes and it stays because it sees itself and it's being drawn to you. Now, this also means that you can't give out negative, right? Because it'll just bounce back on that wall right back to you. But if you start doing that on a daily basis, and prove me wrong, please prove me wrong, because I don't know anybody it doesn't work for. And I could tell you story after story after story of different things that have happened in my own personal life that really cement this truth. So, imagine and ask for a beautiful wall of mirrors to surround you facing outwards to repel evil and keep goodness close at hand. And you won't have arguments with people, but they will just kind of disappear in your life. All of a sudden, they're not on the same schedule as you, or they're moving, or they found a new group of friends, or. But there's no arguments. There's no, there's no hostile conversation or anything. It just kind of dissipates. They can no longer really come near you. And empaths, seriously, there are people who want to get around you in order to feed off of your energy, and you know that because you're exhausted after you're with them. So use the mirrors, okay? And that'll keep you a little safer. And yes, empaths, some people just want to be around you because they love you and don't realize that they are actually zapping you of your energy. So you do have a twofold there. So on that note, until we meet again, remember, I do love you.